But that being said, you know, all this rush up to the FEIS and the ROD, that's to decide the big questions. We've still got some question about exactly how light rail sneaks through Vancouver and such. So that's going to resolve all these big issues. But then when the specifics come of, okay, let's say the Thunderbird site were to be used to stage some construction activities, then there would be specific meetings about exactly how we want to do that, who's seeing which lights do we need to cover at night, where's the truck haul route going to be. That level of detail won't be worked out this year.
And we're working closely with the neighborhood when we start working out those issues. We're meeting with you. What we typically do before we start construction projects is something called the conduct of construction. And we sit down with the contractor, we sit down with the neighborhood, the businesses, and we kind of talk with you about, you know, and we decide how we should, you know, we need to get the construction done, but how can we how can we make the omelet without scrambling too many eggs? Do you know what I mean? You know, it's going to be done, it's going to be messy, but how can we really minimize the impacts? And we'll work with you on it. We assign community people, representatives like Coral and myself, to neighborhoods. If you have issues, you call us. We're in the contractors, typically in the contractor's trailer, and we're able to help run interface for you. So it's.
And does that include maybe there are some vulnerable people with vulnerable medical vulnerabilities? You know, is there support for them in that? I mean, I know this is something you're not really focused on right now because it's down the line, but you know, I would think that would be part of it, and that's my concern, and that's why I keep showing up to these meetings, because it seems like a huge issue.
You know, mitigation, well, it's, you know, construction, we've all lived through it in our neighborhood. It's, you know, it's not easy, but we are going to try to make it as tolerable as we possibly can for you. And we'll work with you, and we'll do everything that we can, knowing that we've got to get the project built, but we would like to be as less intrusive as we can, as least intrusive as
something like that.
I'd like to close with thanking the members in this room for their participation in the Save the Safeway campaign. There's people here that have volunteered and spent hours at Safeway collecting signatures. We collected about 600 signatures, and it was we talked to a lot of people, which was really, collecting the signature was nice, but actually giving people information that didn't have information was even a better thing. We appreciate the Columbia River Crossings project and receiving the signatures. We are sorry to hear that it does appear that Safeway will eventually, we will be losing Safeway eventually. It won't be for another few years, but unless there's any major changes, we will be saying goodbye to our beloved grocery store and pharmacy. But Eric and Tom with the Hayden Island Livability Project is poised to make sure that we let Columbia River Crossings know that we would like something else in place of it.
From what I understand, we got a Walmart coming in down by G.I. Joe's.
Well, we've heard a little bit about that, yes.
And if they build a super center like they have in Pendleton, it would be great because you could buy anything there.
Right. So there's many people that don't drive off the island though, so even that is it's unfortunate. I mean, it's going to be a great asset to the community, but there's other opportunities for us here on the island directly, and I think that's what we want to talk about.
I think Target is going to rebuild. And I think that's independent of the bridge, in fact.
Right.
But they're going to put a pharmacy in here.
Yeah, and that's one of those items where, similar to any conversation with Safeway, any kind of business, they don't want to show all their cards all the time. Right. So those are all things that are sort of outside of the project. We're going to be looking to see what what we can do in our process to address the concerns about a grocery and a pharmacy on the island and figure out what we can do about that.
We have a transit-oriented specialist who's going to be working with the project starting in March. And her job is working with, she's already met with the Super Center, we've met with Safeway, and we're trying to help the best way that we can, given our constraints, bring energy to getting a grocery and pharmacy on the island.
So thanks for listening, and if you ever have any questions, just call.
Thank you guys very much.
We can talk again.
much.